How do you personalize e-commerce campaigns? Well, there's probably 100 different ways, but in this video, we're going to go through how you can call out a specific product or several products, how you can call out the types of products they sell if you want to go more general, how you can identify whether or not they're running ads, and how you can use certain pieces of information to build campaigns and the personalizations within them directly around the lead magnets you use in order to get higher response rates, in order to send more relevant campaigns, in order to show that you've done your research, and of course, to make more money. So I'll share my screen and let's dive in. When it comes to personalizing e-commerce campaigns in general, and personalizing any campaign in general, you'll notice that I tend to rely a lot on SerperDev, and it's the same thing here. So this is just a list of apparel brands that sell to the US that make anywhere between they make 3 million or more every single year. So ones that hopefully have some money to spend. So there's a few ways that we can go about personalizing. When it comes to SerperDev, the first way, what you're doing is actually identifying brands that have Google Shopping. And that's kind of the workflow you're seeing here. The final result of this workflow is a specific product that they sell. Lapis jewelry, half zip guide pants, slumber PJ shorts in blue satin. And the products vary in length right now, but you could cut it down and say, I really only want, the output of the product to be 3 words in the context of the prompt that I use. But how do we get the actual information for the AI to take action on? Because that's the most important part. You can play with the prompt and decide on the language yourself, whatever fits you. My number one rule when it comes to campaigns is you probably know your market better than anyone else knows your market, or hopefully you do if you're doing well in your market and selling well. So get creative and just think about how you can stand out and how you can provide something more valuable than another email or a better offer or just language that preys on pain points a bit better. So when it comes to the API, in this case, we're actually using Google Shopping. So the endpoint for SerperDev is going to be the /shopping endpoint. It's going to be a post, and you're going to be targeting their website. So basically what happens is on the back end, Google's firing away, searching 1,000 different times for all these websites. And anyone that actually has Google Shopping, which is anyone who's worth their salt in terms of DTC e-commerce, they're going to show up. Now, the problem is that they're not the only ones that are going to show up. Amazon's going to show up, Walmart's going to show up, and a bunch of retailers, online retailers are going to show up. So what you need to do from there is you actually need to filter the list of objects and ensure that you're only targeting the actual website of the prospect you're reaching out to. So Dollar Western Wear, for instance, to make sure that the Google Shopping link matches up with the exact business you're trying to reach out to. This is how you make sure that you don't get noise in the products that are showing up, because you could end up getting even a competitor product that's listed on Amazon that's not actually related to the company you're trying to reach out to. And that would be super freaking awkward and probably get you a strong FU and to do better research. So to avoid as many of those as possible, even though the masochist inside you loves it, we'll just back off on that for now. So when it comes to these products, I personally like to get the product, and then I like to fit the AI or fit the product inside of a prompt. So I find if you give a standardized sentence, the AI can produce something a little bit more accurate that fits inside the confines of a sentence. So I think getting ChatGPT to just be creative, even with restrictions, to just come up with what this product is, isn't really enough. So instead, I like to have a bunch of inputs and outputs as examples fed in. You can also add examples down here. In this case, I just added them within the prompt, which, to be honest, might be a bad habit. I'm not sure. Maybe don't replicate this. But for me, it's working. And what it's done is give me a way to predictably produce the actual product name. by inputting the filtered site products. So you can see your small pour toujours charm, your half zip guide pants, lapis jewelry, oval diamond and baguette engagement rings. Maybe I should check those out. I'll be proposing to my fiance soon. And yeah, I'm just kidding, by the way. I've obviously already gotten the ring. So from there, because I went that route, it takes an extra step to actually isolate the product. So what I did here is I pulled out the result from the product summarization. And then to isolate the product, I'm just removing everything outside of where the product appears in the confines of that prompt I made. So how are you planning to drive more high ROI orders to products like your product? I just say, hey, only keep the value in AI personalization. That's after your and before question mark. And then every single time it produces the exact product name. So there you go. That's how you can call out product names that are specific, but we've got a lot of blank spaces here. So there's 100 different ways that we can kind of fix up these blank spaces. But before we get there, I want to discuss one lead magnet that you can make out of people not having any Google Shopping showing up, which is, hey, can I set up your Google Shopping for you? I just noticed I couldn't find any of your products on Google Shopping. Maybe even, guise yourself as a customer. I really like your products. I purchase them all the time. So you could call it the product in a more general sense, as I'll show you in a sec. And then from there, you can just be like, I would love you guys and more people to experience your products. Can I set up Google Shopping for you for free? And I would call that a no-brainer offer. It shows some competence. It shows that you're aware of the industry. You say, hey, I just need to hop on a call with you. You share your screen. It'll take 10 minutes. And then you can actually have some more traffic coming from Google for you guys. Sound good? You prove that you're competent. You upsell your offer, whatever it is. CRO, ads, for Meta, Amazon, Google, whatever. So that's one example of a personalization becoming a magnet. Another example of that would be any information that you can pull off of store leads. So from store leads, industry is a bit inaccurate, but it's good to have a general idea of what the industry is. You can definitely get a better idea of it by just scraping the website or using the products that they sell as a basis for AI to assess the industry. But if you notice that they don't have a TikTok pixel, or they lack a Facebook pixel installed on their website, or they lack a Google ad pixel installed on their website, this is another precursor to a super simple free lead magnet that you could just install for them super quick. Now, the beauty of these is that typically pixel checks are tried and true. Like if it says false, it is false. These tech checks are intelligent in the sense that they're able to because it's a pixel installed in the HTML of a website, it's pretty much just it's there or it's not there. So you can reliably offer this type of lead magnet. So that was just kind of get you guys brainstorming about some of the other lead magnets that you can offer based on the data that you're seeing from like more standard data, right? This is just standard data that you typically get from these prospecting tools that you can find some ways to take advantage of. Now, the other way to go about getting some product information is to use their SEO. So again, most businesses worth their grain and salt are going to have some SEO. They're going to actually put in a title, put in a snippet, and make sure that it's coherent enough to explain what they sell, what they do, and who they're for. So as a result of that, you can usually have AI take action on it and get a pretty good idea of a few things. Now, that could be the products they sell, that could be the services they administer, that could be where they're located or what location they're selling to, or the type of individual they're selling to, whether it's men or women, right? Young people, I don't know, maybe you'll see someone say that it's for Gen Z specifically, right? Kind of see what true niche they're in. And with this information, you can have AI distill it into something useful to you. So thankfully, Store Leads actually pulls this information for you. So you can directly, enrich from Store Leads inside Clay to make it super easy, which, by the way, if no one knows, this is the tool I'm currently using. And from there, you can take the company description and the title, and in this case, title 2, because job positions are titles in the sheet, which is atypical for me, but I love to be disorganized like that. And from there, you can actually make, in the same capacity, a line about the type of things they sell. So fine jewelry, Western wear, adaptive front closed bras, eco-friendly sweaters, outdoor apparel, handmade jewelry, keepsake trunks, barefoot shoes, leather boots, right? You can see how this is getting a little bit deeper than just apparel or men's apparel or swimsuits. It's adaptive front closed bras, right? So an interesting way to personalize your campaigns. You can use it or not use it, but it's a similar prompt to the one I used before where it's confined. It has a bunch of examples, and I put everything it needs as optional. That way, if one of those columns is blank, it still runs. And then you just go through your list afterwards to make sure AI isn't hallucinating on columns where both are blank, and you remove that from your list. So there's a few ways to personalize your campaigns. And I do have one final way, which I promised at the start of the video, which is how do you go about personalizing your campaigns based on the ads that they actually run? So this is a super messy list, but let's kind of roll through it a little bit. And the way you can personalize your campaigns on the ads they actually run is by simply checking the meta ads library. So how do we do that? Well, there's a few options. There's a more manual way if you're doing cold calls or you're an SDR. And thankfully, because Meta has a bunch of great UTM parameters, which I actually learned this from Michael from Clay Wizards, you can insert the website directly into a set of UTM parameters, which, guys, if you want to get all these prompts, use Snipping Tool. It has a transcribe. So every time I open these, you can just screenshot it and then use Snipping Tool and auto transcribe and pull the text right out of there, copy paste. So if you want to use this, do that. You insert your normalized URL variable. That means no HTTP, no slashes, no www. And in there, it'll create a link that takes you directly to their ads library. So in this case, we have a ton of interesting ads for James Free Jewelers. You can see which ones are active, which ones are inactive, the platforms they're on, and ideally you would be able to see like the product they're selling, but this is a bit tougher. Now, this is a pretty manual process, and I believe you can use a proxied scraper to just scrape this web page and do it very cheaply. But the easier way to go about it is actually just to use API-Fi. It's ready made by the API-Fi team. It costs very little, and you would just have this connected to your Clay sheet and fire websites into it, and it would return a bunch of awesome data. So this is PillowCube. You can see they're running 5 ads. And as a result of that, you could personalize a campaign and be like, hey, not sure if I'm supposed to be talking to Eric Price or Jordan Larson on the team, or not sure if I'm supposed to be talking to Erica Glass or you about this, but I noticed you're running 5 ads right now, and I was wondering if you're confident that the landing pages for these are going to convert properly, right? Like you've got create creatives, I checked them out, but are the landing pages going to convert properly? And then you could lead into some sort of lead magnet, some sort of offer, or you could be like, I saw you running 5 ads. Are you confident that these are going to, perform for the long haul? Or are you confident? Actually, better yet, I would say you could personalize it off maybe the date and be like, so you've been running the same ads for the last 2 months. For me, this can mean 2 things. Either you have an insane ad campaign and it's just flawless, and if so, tell me to F off or tell me to pound sand. Or maybe you have been struggling like our client X with slow creators, slow content creators for UGC, tons of revisions, and you need a reliable source of ads. Do you want to try ours? And if you try them, if they don't beat your current creatives on a 10/90 split test, it's free anyway. Okay, no harm, no foul. So these are just some ways you can lead competently and coherently and relevantly into a offer or a lead magnet, which again is the foundation of your outreach and the most important asset or aspect. This is just a way to make people interested off the get-go, to read that offer more frequently and increase the conversions on that offer. So if you need help with this or setting up this in your business, feel free to book a call with myself down below. If you're serious about scaling your business and you have product market fit, we can build out clay tables for you to be able to easily take action on your entire target market on scored lead lists, or run some campaigns for you if you're the right fit and we're the right fit for you. So have a good one. See you next time.